Good afternoon, everyone. We've explored contraception, abortion, and assisted reproductive technologies from a religious perspective. Now we turn to the way these debates spill over into the legal and political world, because religion is never just private. Religious convictions often shape public policy, influence court cases, and spark battles over freedom, rights, and healthcare. Let's look at how these struggles unfold. Contraception and the law. One of the most famous cases in the United States was Burwell versus Hobby Lobby stores in 2014. Here, the Supreme Court ruled that corporations with religious objections could be exempt from the Affordable Care Act's mandate to provide contraceptive coverage. For religious groups, this was a victory for religious freedom, but for many employees, it meant reduced access to reproductive health care. This case highlighted the tension between two rights: the right of religious groups to act according to their conscience, and the right of individuals to healthcare access without restriction. Similar debates appear worldwide, especially in countries where Catholic or Muslim influence is strong. Abortion and policy battles. Abortion is perhaps the most contested legal issue of all. In the United States, the landmark decision Roe v. Wade in 1973 legalized abortion nationwide. But in 2022, Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization overturned Roe, returning the power to regulate abortion to the states. The result has been a patchwork of laws. Some states heavily restrict abortion, often influenced by Catholic and evangelical advocacy. Other states protect access, often influenced by liberal or pluralistic interpretations of religion and rights. Outside the U.S., Catholic and evangelical opposition has shaped restrictive laws in Latin America, Africa, and parts of Europe. Meanwhile, feminist and human rights movements, often supported by liberal religious voices, push back for reproductive freedoms. Assisted reproductive technologies and religious law arts like surrogacy and IVF also raise legal questions. In Catholic and Orthodox majority countries, surrogacy is often banned or tightly regulated. The reasoning is theological. Procreation should remain within marriage and not involve third parties. In Israel, ART is widely used, but halakha, Jewish law, shapes key details, such as how surrogacy is legally recognized. For example, questions of lineage and inheritance must be resolved in light of Jewish tradition. In Muslim majority countries, surrogacy and donor sperm are usually prohibited by law, reflecting religious rulings on lineage and family purity. But IVF between married couples is often permitted and even encouraged. So, ART is not just a medical issue, it's a legal and religious battleground, conscience clauses and religious freedom. Another area of conflict comes with conscience clauses, laws that allow doctors, nurses, or pharmacists to refuse to provide reproductive services if it violates their faith. In the United States, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, or RFRA, has been used to defend such refusals. But here again we see tension. Does protecting conscience restrict patient rights? Or does requiring medical services violate religious freedom? This debate shows up in lawsuits over abortion, contraception, and even fertility treatments. Sex education and religious influence. Finally, sex education is another flashpoint. In some U.S. states, religious groups have successfully lobbied for abstinence-only education, opposing lessons on contraception or LGBTQ issues. Other states mandate comprehensive sex education regardless of religious objections. Globally, this divide appears as well. In Catholic countries, bishops often resist public programs that promote contraception. In more secular or pluralistic societies, comprehensive sex education is promoted as a human right. Conclusion. So, what do we see? Religious opposition to contraception shapes healthcare mandates and exemptions. Religious stances on abortion have directly influenced landmark court rulings from Roe to Dobbs. RT is regulated differently depending on religious influence, from Catholic bans on surrogacy to Jewish regulation of lineage to Islamic restrictions on third-party donors. Conscience clauses and sex education laws show how religious freedom and public health often clash. In every case, the heart of the matter is the same. How do we balance freedom of religion with freedom of choice? And who gets to decide when personal conviction becomes public law?